What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is season 6, episode 8, and the episode is titled Uneven Playing Field. Let's get right into the review. So, first things first, we have Fatima and Andi. You know that they just got out of that meeting with, I want to say her name was Miss Parker, Miss Potter, some black woman. Okay, they got out of some meeting with her. So now we have Fatima's reaction to how she's going to move forward with her life. Basically, she's like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I cannot be with Zach anymore. She actually asked Andi for the ring back. Now, last time we checked, Andi put the ring in a box on her desk. But no, she has now moved it to her purse and was like, I've been carrying it on me because, just in case you ask for it. Well, yeah, she's asking for the ring, but not to put it back on her finger. So, Fatima, she mentioned, how she cannot do this with Zach at least 15 times. And I'm like, Tyler, you wrote no lines for this scene, but I'm going to let this slide on by. So, she says that she's going to give Zach the ring back because she wants to end things with Zach. She's done. She's tired. And honestly, I can understand where she's coming from. Fatima has been going through so many ups and downs when it comes to the relationship with Zach. Even if you take out every scenario that has happened on Zatima and just focus on the foolishness that has happened on Sistas, baby girl has been through a lot when it comes to Zach. And it's honestly unnecessary. Nobody wants to get into a relationship with somebody and every time you turn around, their ex is popping up. Their ex may possibly be pregnant by him. And also, on top of that, you find out that he has a baby mama. And I think the child is about, 4 years old? And let's not forget that just the day before all of this went down, that morning before we found out about Karen, they went to Heather's house. Come to find out she's not taking care of her child. And that's honestly an added layer to what may possibly be another reason as to why she wants to be done with Zach, because that child will change the dynamic of their entire household. No offense, but it's one thing if your partner says, I want to, take care of my kid or whatever, but they were talking about getting full custody of this little boy. Yeah, that's changing a lot of things that's happening. So I feel like this is a lot that is happening very fast. When you think of the acceleration of their relationship, Fatima has gotten all this bad news within a span of less than 3 weeks. Honestly, it's pure madness. And I just feel like the Karen thing is the final straw. It is what it is. I'm not even mad at Fatima for trying to choose herself and trying to move on from Zach. Okay, but here's the thing. For some reason, we have Andi in her ear saying, you can't give up on Zach, basically, because when she looks at Zach and Fatima, that gives her hope. I said, girl, hope to do what? The audacity of you to use them as your example of what a relationship should look like when you see that Zach has been putting Fatima through all types of crap. That's what your goals are? To have a relationship like that? Girl, you already got that with Gary. Let's not forget all the drama that Gary has put you through. Please stop playing. So, Fatima, she says that, she doesn't want to compete with Karen. And if you talk to her and she asks anything, you can go ahead and tell her that she can have them. I said, okay, cool. That works for me. Because y'all know at this point, I'm so sick and tired of the back and forth between Zach, Fatima, Karen, Aaron. I'm sick of it. But here's the thing. As we are wrapping up this conversation, who decides to pop up? Oh, Gary. So now Gary comes to Andi's office and he is clearly expecting for her to double down on what she said. He is expecting an apology, but baby, no, you're not getting one. Because I'm pretty sure he feels like she was, speaking reckless and that's not what she really meant. No, she's standing on this idea that he's only good for one thing. So now he decides, I'm going to be petty and try to get you a little get back. So he tells Andi, well, you're not the best I've ever had either because, You're not even that good at what you do in bed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this? Why is Tyler wasting all of our time like this? I'm so sick of Andi and Gary. Because at one point, you could tell that she was like, trying to get back to work, trying to avoid having a conversation with him. Did he strike a nerve? For sure. But she's like, okay, I see what you're doing. You trying to one-up me because I dissed you. Okay, fine. Baby, next thing you know, by the time we got to the end of this conversation, this man is planning to come over to her house. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of them. I am so, so sick of Gary and Andi and this back and forth foolishness. I just want them to let it go. I really want them to really let this relationship go. All right, y'all. Now let's slide on over to Hayden and Tamara. Baby girl is getting up from underneath the desk from doing her thing. And she's like, I'm going to make you so happy. And the only thing that I want to talk about is me being your wife. I'm just like, Tamara, could you please? Please stop putting it on so thick. So Hayden is like, no, I think that we need to talk or whatever. And she's not trying to have any type of serious conversation with this man. So next thing you know, Gary shows up and he introduces himself to Tamara. At first I thought he was going to give her a fake name, but he didn't. So Tamara ends up leaving or whatever. And Gary tells him that, he only has 30 days to get this, not prenup, to get an annulment. Because other than that, after the 30 days, they are officially married. And she could definitely take him for everything that he has. Now, keep in mind, y'all, when Gary did his little investigation, he actually found nothing on Tamara. He was like, yeah, she may have gotten into a little bit of trouble in her high school past, but that's about it. So baby girl's record is clean. Now, I'm wondering if she's the real Tamara. Because I'm thinking, if this girl came through Madam, right? She may be having a false identity or something. You know what I'm saying? Plot twist. You know what I mean? Now, according to Hayden, he is going to get an annulment. We'll see if that happens, okay? Now, before Gary leaves, he's like, oh, and let me know if you see Robin around here. And I'm like, where the hell is Robin? Because Tyler just completely dropped that storyline, had these two idiots supposedly partially take over the company or whatever they were trying to do with Robin, and we never got a resolve out of that. Make it make sense, Tyler. All right, y'all, let's slide on over to Karen and Zach. We actually see them, I guess they're at some type of little restaurant, diner. I don't know what this is, but according to Karen, Zach actually took her there on their second date, but baby boy has no memory of this. And according to her, he was oh so broke. I mean, honestly, he was broke their entire relationship, which is very sad. But back to the story at hand, he was also extremely nervous on this second date. And she's like, tell me why you were nervous back then. And he's like, I was nervous because I wanted you to like me, basically. And I'm just like, all right, cool. This is cute or whatever. They're reminiscing. However, sir, you have a whole fiance. And also, I have to point out, Ebony Obsidian looks so pretty this season. Am I tripping? Or does it seem like Karen is way more pretty than she was any other season right about now? She is so pretty this season. But back to the story. So they continued talking about this second date and how at some point it was starting to rain and they were stuck on the roof of her apartment. All right, whoop-de-doo. Now, according to her, this is when she knew that she was going to be with Zachary Taylor forever. Yes, she said that after that second date, she knew that she was going to be with him forever. And I'm just like, girl, in what capacity? Y'all going to be friends forever? Or what? Because this whole romantic thing, y'all don't work together. Zach and Karen are not a good match. We know this. So then you have Zach chiming in, and he's like, it's funny how the universe works because, we're here now in a space where we're talking to each other, but at the end of the day, I'm with Fatima and you with the preacher man. Of course, she denies being with Aaron. Now listen, y'all. Zach reiterates to Karen he is with Fatima like twice. However, do I think that she got it in her head? Absolutely not. Because Karen hasn't had that concept that him and Fatima are engaged or even together. She cannot grasp that concept at all. Now, one thing that I will say is that I appreciated the fact that Zach told her, like, you know, I do love you. I never want anything bad to happen to you. However, you know, we ain't about to be together because I'm with Fatima. Now, I should have seen it coming that Karen was going to hit him with the "you show," because we ain't heard her say it in a minute. So I definitely played myself not realizing that line was coming. Now, this man says that he's positive that, you know, he really wants to be with Fatima. Y'all, Karen decided to tell this man, I want you to take me home and make love to me. Ma'am, Karen, can you get some fresh air in your lungs first? It's barely been 24 hours, okay? You're doing a lot. Like, there's no way you could have ever told me that Karen was going to be this desperate for Zachary Taylor. There's no way. You could have ever told me that season 1, when we first met Karen, she would turn up like this. I mean, baby girl is going on and on about the things that she wants to do with Zachary Taylor, but he has to tell her yet again, I'm with Fatima. Like, did he need to get a shirt made that says I'm with Fatima? What's going on here? So now we have to sit through the comparison game because that's the game that Karen wants to play. Do you love her as much as you love me? Like, why is that even a question? Like, or you're asking him, do you love her in the same way that you loved me? Let's not do this. Please. Just accept the fact that he has chosen Fatima and move forward. Now, Karen says, oh, I guess I'm making a fool of myself. I say, yes, you are. That's what you've been doing. Hell, before the fire, you was making a damn fool of yourself. Popping up at his house, lying on Fatima, saying that she was spreading your business around. Yeah, that was all what you was doing, girl. So now she's about to call out Zach for basically running up to her when he found out that she was alive, basically dissing Fatima. She's just reminding him / throwing it in his face how he treated Fatima versus how he treated her when he found out that, she was still alive. Like, honestly, you guys, I think that we should have taken shots every time that Zach said that he is with Fatima, because he had to tell this woman this yet again. Even though he acted out in the way that he did, he didn't know how to act when he found out that she could have possibly been dead. He happy that she's breathing, happy that she's alive and healthy. However, he's with Fatima. He'll help her get on her feet, but basically that is where the bus stops. He is not trying to get back with Karen. Karen ain't having that as an answer. Oh, but here's the thing. What kind of rubbed Karen the wrong way was the fact that he said, I'm getting married to Fatima. We're going to have a family. Oh, why you say the family word? Because her response is, what? Oh, so what about me and this baby? You just gonna forget about us? He like, girl, I don't even know if that's my kid. So at that point, this is when I said, oh, Tyler, you playing way too much. Because we see her reach down or whatever. And I said, oh, so she got the paperwork in her bag so that when she can say, Zach, this is your baby. No, she was reaching for her purse because now she wants to leave. However, she's going to leave the door unlocked for him to slide on through whenever he feel like it in the middle of the night. Now, he tells her that, you know what, you going to let the wrong person inside. And she's like, no, I'm not, because you going to come over. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Joke's about to be on her when she gets an unexpected guest, but we gonna get there later. Alright, enough of them. Let's talk about Preston and Danni, because Danni comes home from work. Preston is there, no shirt on. And she's like, why are you here? Oh boy won't be coming back to my house anymore. And I'm like, girl, you don't know that. Didn't he get out of jail already? You don't know if he plan on popping up on you again. But she's like, you don't have to be here. He said he gonna stay a couple more days. I'm just like, Preston, where's your job at? Do you have a job? What happened to you working on the farm? What happened to that? But nonetheless, this man has cooked. You already know this man is back to his old ways, cooking steak dinners for Danni. And honestly, it seemed like they had nothing to talk about in this scene. At some point, she finally brings it around town and says that, she wants to give it a go with Preston. They can try to have a relationship. And that's cute or whatever. I just feel like Tyler dragged this out so long that I don't even care anymore about Danni and Preston. So maybe if they get like some cutesy scenes, I'll start caring again. Oh, but one thing that I wanted to point out was the fact that she said she doesn't want to hear about Mindy anymore. And I'm like, girl, none of us I do either, because that was a scenario that should have never been a thing. And also, Danni is actually the first sister with a man that she can claim, y'all. Because out of all the sisters, everybody is situationships. Danni is the first one with a man that she can actually claim that's solely hers. Because let's be honest, I'm not claiming Andi and Gary, especially considering all the foolishness that she went through with him, his crazy ex-wife. Like, let's be honest, Andi has been a side chick. Karen and Zach, they were always terrible to each other. That was not a thriving relationship. Her and Aaron never were official. It was always some weird situation. As far as, what's the other one? Sabrina messed around with Jacoby. She played around with Calvin, and Bio still ain't her man. So, yeah, Danni is the first girl of this series to actually have a boyfriend who may be fully interested in her and will try to make it work with her. Besides, like Zach and Fatima, because that's its own thing, because she was not originally a sister. Oh, and also, they decided they're going to go out on a date because, now they're official or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, now Preston wants to take Danni out, to all the places where he was taking everybody else he was dating, but he was just laid up in Danni's apartment. You know what? I'm going to let bygones be bygones. Let's be happy for Danni and Preston. Let's go ahead and move on. We see Calvin at Maurice's house. He gets the door. It's Sabrina. All right, cool. She comes over so that way she can tell Maurice that she met up with Q. And he already knew that she went over there and wasted her time because he's already wasted his time. And, of course, she has to say it out loud that basically Q wasn't biting what she was putting down. So next thing you know, you have Maurice going on and on about how he's going to do this and that to Q. And honestly, I am so tired of hearing Maurice say this stuff about he going to have his cousin do something to him, how he going to set him up. Like, we're tired. We don't want to hear this anymore, Maurice. Tyler, give Maurice some better lines. Like, I honestly feel like this whole scene was a waste of my time. So, next thing you know, Sabrina gets a phone call, and it's from Andi. She tells Sabrina that she needs her to come to Karen's house later on that night, and for her to also call Danni. What she do? Call Danni, and she's like, oh, meet us at Karen's. Now, Danni is questioning, like, okay, well, is everything okay? Like, why do we need to go over there? Sabrina has no clue. So Danni comes to the conclusion that we're going over there to figure out who the baby daddy is. Now, here's my thing. Danni is supposed to be going on a date with Preston. If I was Danni, I would have been like, girl, no. I'm going out with my man so y'all can handle Karen by yourselves. I'm sorry. Like, I really wish that Tyler would stop trying to gather this sister circle up whenever they try to have, like, these, what is it called, sisterventions? Like, I am so tired of them popping up on each other in a group effort just so that we can get a scene for, like, 3 seconds, followed by them getting thrown out of each other's apartment buildings. I am so tired of that. Tyler, think of something else for them to do. Nonetheless, you see Calvin. He comes back into the scene or whatever, and she's like, oh, I gotta go or whatever. And he's like, oh, I thought we could hang out. And she's like, well, I got a lot going on. And here goes his response. Oh, you going to go see Bio or whatever? Tyler, stop making these men assume things. Because we've had to suffer through this, I think, with each one of the sisters. I am pretty sure that we have had to hear Gary tell Andi, oh, are you going to go see Robin? And I'm pretty sure we have heard Zach as well as Aaron go back and forth saying, oh, Karen, are you going to go see Zach? Karen, are you going to go see Aaron? And I know that we've heard it before with Preston talking about whichever guy that Danni was messing around with. I know that we've heard this multiple times. Tyler, find something else to write. And that also brings me to the fact that each one of these ladies should not be in a love triangle. Like, that is not realistic to real life. And I need for you to find something else. Because there's no way you're going to tell me that Andi has been in a love triangle, Karen has been in a love triangle, and Sabrina. I wouldn't exactly say that Danni is in a love triangle. She just keep hooking up with randoms. But let's go ahead and move on, y'all. So we have Q. He is out of his wheelchair, walking around or whatever. Keep in mind, he was just in a wheelchair the day before. For some reason, Maurice pops up. Typical antics. We see Q get in the car with some woman. Honestly, did not care about this scene. Moving on. Here we go, y'all. Zach and Fatima. Zach goes home to Fatima and tries to give her a kiss or whatever, but she was not interested. So they need to talk. And Fatima, she goes first. She lets him know that he was wrong for the way he left her. But he tells her that he never lost anyone like this before. So the way he was reacting, it was just basically an out-of-body experience for him. So next thing you know, he goes on to talk about how he is not in love with Karen, but he does still have love for her. But of course, he's in love with Fatima. Now, Fatima ain't believing him. You already know the ring is off the finger and her bags are packed. And of course, Tyler's going to continue to use this idea that Fatima always runs from her problems. No, Fatima is fed up, and this honestly should have been the breaking point for their relationship. So as they continue this conversation, Fatima's mentioned the fact that, she was humiliated. And also, it was very embarrassing the way Zach was running around acting when it came to Karen, especially the way he ran up to her as if that was his woman. So now he's like, oh, so is the problem that you were humiliated in front of everybody? And it's like, no, sir. The problem is that you left your girl hanging. You acted like you was with Karen and she was the love of your life, even though you're engaged to this other woman. You know what vibe it was giving y'all? So y'all remember when Kim Porter died? R.I.P. to Kim Porter. I actually did like Kim Porter. But y'all remember when Kim Porter died and Diddy was still with Cassie, but everything became about Kim Porter? That's the vibe it was given. This was definitely that situation. And Fatima should have been like Cassie and left Zach alone. So now we have Zach using the fact that, Fatima went to go cry in the tub over Ian, and he feels like this is the same situation or whatever, and she needs to give him some grace. Here's my issue with this entire thing, y'all. That man never apologized. He never said, I'm so sorry for making you feel away. I'm so sorry that, I let my emotions take over me, and the only thing I was thinking about was Karen, and I neglected you. Like, he never did any of that. And I'm like, Tyler, really? So she just has to give him grace? Really? And then she puts the ring back on? Is this what we doing? Like, I'm so annoyed by this. But y'all, let's just go ahead and move on. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that he did tell her that Karen wanted him to come over. But let's go ahead going over to Andi. We see her pop up at Karen's house or whatever, and Karen assumes that Fatima has told Andi everything. And here's the thing. Fatima did tell her some things, but she don't know everything, girl. So Karen is like, well, listen, you gotta go because Zach about to come over because he about to make love to me. So, you need to hit the dough. And Andi is like, what are you doing? Because you were so clear that you were not interested in Zach, but now you're doing all of this. Oh, here goes Karen's rebuttal. So what's been up with Gary? I said, oh, not us doing this, not the tit for tat. Next thing you know, the other girls come in, right? They don't even know why they there. And I'm like, exactly. Andi, you could have handled this one on your own. So they think that they're there to figure out who the baby daddy is, right? No, that is not what we found out. Karen, again, she proudly tells the other ladies that they can leave because Zach is coming over for sex. And next thing you know, Fatima pops up. I said, yes, please, Fatima, let this woman know for once and for all that you are not about to play with her no more, and she can try it if she wants to. Because Karen is doing the absolute most. I have no idea how her character got here, but it's here, and it's real sad. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me that if there's any other shows y'all want me to review and watch, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.